Hey guys, decided to come in here this morning following my consultation that I had yesterday on the Arts Council application. And I think there's not so much information on Arts Council, so I'm going to start with very basic and I'm just going to walk you through the guidelines because this is the place where you need to start when it comes to your Arts Council application. Google Arts Council, Global Talent Visa, go onto the website and download the PDF. They update the PDF regularly, so make sure you download the latest version. Then you will see a big document with lots of information, and I'm going to a little bit walk you through how to use it to your advantage. First place to start, there is eligible and ineligible professions. There are certain professions, ineligible professions, with which you cannot apply for the Global Talent Visa in the arts, with the Arts Council and in the art and culture sector. So make sure you know what the list is. Make sure you are not on the list. Then if you're not, then find yourself in a right category. There is art and culture, there is film production, there is acting, there is fashion design, wherever you fit in. My client yesterday, she was in graphic design, illustrations, painting kind of sector. Here's important part. They absolutely do not accept commercial work when it comes to that. Commercial as in made for another brand, commissioned work. And they don't accept that when it comes to like graphic design, illustrations and paintings and so on. But your artistic work with kind of bigger idea and your own expressions, they totally accept. So when it comes to guidelines, if you're eligible, you need to start with a CV and letters of recommendations. These are universal rules for all the applicants. Doesn't matter if you're promise, talent, arts and culture or fashion design. Read through them, understand what they want to see there. It's very clearly written what they want to see, what they don't want to see. One thing about letters of recommendation, you have certain requirements for them and for organization of people who will be referring you. Very important, one has to be UK-based, well-established organization. I just spoke last week with a girl who came to me after she was rejected for the Arts Council application to kind of draft the review with her. And one of the reasons they rejected her was because the organization that provided letter of support to her had a virtual UK-based office address, and they basically said virtual address equals not well established, and we don't accept it as a letter of support. We're going to argue that it's not true because nowhere it's written that it has to be physical address. It just says registered address that has to satisfy certain criteria like being able to get the post there and actually have a co-working physical space, and they do that. But be careful about who you choose as your referee because it will matter. They will definitely check things. And actually in her rejection, it was written after Googling or after doing some research, they are going to do the research. So read what they want to know, one UK, one non-UK, and then one, it could be from a person. Make sure there is logos, make sure that there's proper signatures there, make sure there are contact details, biographies, maybe CVs of your referees. Read those guidelines. Then when it comes to your evidence pieces, you have to understand if you're talent or promise. Usually we would say under 5 years of artistic experience is promise, over 5 years is talent. Of course, there is a lot of details and it's very individual how we assess the case, but if you studied, and we would usually count the number of years from your graduation date of the latest education, if you studied bachelor and master together. If you had a break in between and worked, then this in between bachelor and master would also count as your artistic or professional experience. A lot of artistic people have like proper jobs and then artistic experience. We would look only at your art-related career. And so she had bachelor and master together, so we would count it from the date of graduation of masters and then all the years that you worked. Again, in your CV, make a focus on your artistic career and not on your, let's say, normal office job, and highlight what you did there, collaborations, what kind of work, etc. And then when it comes to evidence pieces, again, they are divided into certain categories. You find your category, you go in there, you see if you're talent or promise, and you go into the section that is for you. For our client, it was promise section for art and culture. And so what we are looking at for promise applicants, you need to satisfy 2 of the 3 criteria or categories, which is media recognition, awards, and distribution or exhibitions, etc. Then you will have to see what kind of geographies they're looking for and how many pieces you have to provide. This is very important because it's different for promise and talent. So for her, it was you had to provide one from any country, actually, an award, so it doesn't have to be outside your home country. Then we had media recognition. She struggled a little bit with that, but it's okay because as long as you have 2 other categories covered, you don't have to provide the 3rd category. We looked at awards, we looked at distribution. She had a lot of exhibitions. She actually sold her work to private individuals. We're going to prove that as a sales. We're going to show the countries where her paintings went to. We're going to show the invoices, etc. But also for the distribution, we're going to include all the exhibitions she participated in and loads of different proof. What is important, just having a photo of social media posts. For example, they don't accept social media posts as proof, but think of programs, of brochures, on loads of different things that can prove that you did there. Also photos from the exhibition with you there, photos with you an award and everything. Think like this. You have to show the caseworker that it's not just a website where it's written. You have multiple ways to prove that this thing just actually happened. This is very important. And read through things, see what you have. If you're missing something, work on it. She went ahead. She only has 1 award, which satisfies the criteria, but she wants to get maybe potentially 1 more, at least one nominations. She went ahead to apply for various awards and nominations. And for her, actually, a to-do was to look for an established UK-based referee in her sector. So hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to help.